In February of 1919, over the course of 5 days, Seattle, a town of 315,000, stopped working. The strike was a citywide labor action post-World War I that made the unemployment number rise by thousands. On the morning of February 6, 35,000 members of the union joined 25,000 other union members that were already on strike. The rest of the workforce was shut down when stores started closing and streetcars stopped running. The strike moved quickly and went out of anyone's control. The point of the strike was to gain high wages after 2 years of World War I wage control. During the time of the strike, the people that were there saw this as the beginning of the attempted revolution by the industrial workers of the world. However, the reaction to the strike was what grabbed everyone's attention. There was no violence at all. Seattle was the first town to have a strike, and it was expected that the violence would take over. However, everyone stayed calm and just wanted it to end. Women stayed home and stayed out of the city while men gathered at the unemployment office and shut down their companies. Businessmen stood in line and bought guns in case of violent outbreak, even though there never was any. This was so important to history because of what it stood for. Workers expressed the power that they had through an action of solidarity and showed to the nation the potential power of organized labor. Although the strike only lasted a few days, its impact was huge. One of the most important men that were part of the strike was Dave Beck. He was 24 at the time of the strike and had just got back from serving in the Navy when it happened. He was one of many men that was opposed to the strike. Online, I found an interview of him after the strike had happened. He says, "It was an avenue, in my opinion, of direct action, attempting to utilize machinery to accomplish a general strike for the benefit of the boiler makers and so forth. To go on strike, that was tremendously out of all possibility their being able to control, was not in harmony with the solution that could be built to function and therefore failed. He was clearly against having the strike in the first place and was not at all surprised that it failed. He didn't think that the point of the strike was to anyone's benefit. Nor did he think that the plan of the strike was going to help at all. He also gave his opinion on why he thinks the strike didn't work. He says, well, it was a progressive era. I mean the mass of the labor movement. That's why the strike couldn't be a success. Because the great majority of labor wasn't going to subscribe to the picture that they were erecting of how to solve the strike problem. They thought for some reason that this strike would help get higher wages, but it didn't. Dave saw that from the beginning and knew that it wasn't going to work."